Hey, it's your girl Sierra, and in my last video, I posted about quick tips on how you can navigate the legal system as far as the criminal court system and the family court system for survivors of domestic violence, specifically mothers with children. This video, I wanted to talk about orders of protection and the importance of getting them when you leave a domestically violent relationship. My biggest tip is you should get one right away. You immediately want to make sure that you go and file a police report, okay? Go to your local police department and make sure you file a police report. Especially if you are trying to get an order of protection, you want to be able to go and do that and have as much documentation that you may be able to with you when you go. If you don't have a police report, no worries. You can still go to file for order of protection. I would advise just going and then giving as many details as possible as you can regarding what has occurred to you over the period of time regarding the domestically violent situation. You also want to make sure if the kids need to be protected, if they have been harmed in any way or in danger, you want to make sure you list them as protected individuals as well. Listing the children won't apply to everyone. Like in my case personally, I didn't have to do that. However, I fully understand a mother or a woman who may need to list their kids as being in immediate danger from the abuser. You also want to make sure that you don't be discouraged, but you definitely want to be as descriptive as possible on the document that you are completing for your order of protection. You also want to keep in mind that likeliness of a hearing will be set for the same day in many cases if it is an immediate need to get you an emergency order of protection issued. In some instances, you may have to wait for a judge to review the document that you've completed and then notify you as to if your order of protection was indeed granted. And from there, a sheriff will deliver the order of protection to that individual that you have put it on, and you will also get a copy of the order of protection as well in your mail. You want to make sure that you have multiple copies of your order of protection once issued, meaning a copy in your car, a copy in your purse, a copy that you keep on you, a copy at your job, a copy with HR at your job, with your boss, your receptionist. Want to make sure that you have a copy at a family member's home. If you feel comfortable at a friend's home, wherever you can have them, you want to have them. You also want to notify your job and let them know, of your situation. Isn't much detail that you feel comfortable sharing, but you definitely want to let them know that you are protected, because in most instances you also want to make sure you have your workplace, your place of employment, your place of school. You want to have that listed on that order of protection as a protected address, in addition to your home, your family member's home. So it may be your parents' home, your cousin, your brother, whoever homes that you may frequent or that that person may go to seek finding you. You also want to make sure that you abide to all of the things listed on that order of protection. So if it's saying you shouldn't be in contact, you should not be in contact. Do not accept any phone calls from the person that you're protected against. Don't respond to any text messages. Ultimately, you want to make sure you have their number blocked. And if they are calling you unknown, do not answer the call. Let it go to voicemail. And if they leave a message, so be it. If it's a threatening message or a message of any nature of them contacting you and you can verify that it is them by their voice and everything, definitely keep that on file, because now you have grounds of filing a police report in regards to a violation on that current active order of protection. You want to make sure that by no means you are breaking the order of protection's parameters and that you are following it to a T. You don't want to be in violation on your end, and you want to report all violations on their end. It is pertinent if your children are in school or in a daycare or in some type of program where you have to do pickups and drop offs, you want to make sure they have a copy of the order of protection on file and they are aware of the situation and your safety, and of course, the safety of your children. Most cases they will abide by that, and there can be all kind of parameters and protocols put into place. And so that's very, very important, because at the end of the day, protection is necessary and protection is key for all parties involved, especially you and your children. If you find that they are, again, violating those parameters, showing up, doing things, you want to make sure that you are reporting that and you are letting the court know that there is a violation on that order of protection. Some people like to let violations accumulate. In my personal experience, I think that you should be notifying your attorney every step of the way regarding every violation, because no instance is too big or too small, in my personal opinion. Beyond schools and after school programming, you want to make sure if your children are in extracurricular activities such as basketball, football, cheer, gymnastics, any kind of program outside of a school entity, you want to make sure that they are aware of the order of protection as well, so that when you are attending those games and events in programming activities, that your children, again, and you are protected. And again, if the person is showing up, you want to be reporting that. As you can see, I am really adamant about reporting and documenting violations on order of protections, because in most cases, many abusers will exercise their will to want to violate, and you have to exercise your will to document and also report. Orders of protection are just that. They're order of protection protecting the individual. However, they're not the final key to the solution of everything. So they're there in place, but you must have all protections, that you can in place. So home security system, a safety plan, if you want to conceal and carry, that as well. Just so many things that you still have to put in place for yourself and for your protection of you and your children and your family is so important. So it's important, though, to start with that order of protection, and of course your police report, and of course following through on whatever parameters for that police report, if you need to press charges, things of that nature. But you definitely want to make sure when you are dealing with an order of protection, you are constantly keeping documentation and keeping everything up to date as far as any new instances of violations. Orders of protection can go anywhere from, I would say, 30 days to a year. Sometimes they can go 2 years. Some people are granted ongoing orders of protection, but that can be very, very rare, especially if you're dealing with the state of Indiana. Me personally, the maximum that I have seen is 2 years, and the minimum has been one. Also, don't be alarmed if you have an order of protection and you are dealing with both courts, criminal and family, and your order of protection extension gets denied through family court. I have had that happen to me, even with violations that were on file and having that pending criminal case with new instances documented, reported. I still had the order of protection denied from family court. You will find that that can happen. But even when things like that happen, while they're disappointing, just know that, again, you have done your best. And so even in instances like that, dealing with criminal court, I was able to have a no contact order issued because of the open criminal case. So while family court did not continue to uphold what they should have, I still had a protection in place and a protected document in place. So again, having that constant communication, that constant open file with all the information that you need, updates and everything, is so pertinent to your case. So, if you have stayed to the end, as you can see, having an order of protection is definitely important, but you must know it's not the end all be all. But having that paper and documentation on file is just critical in the process, and knowing that you have done your part to protect yourself and your family is very, very critical. So, don't be discouraged, be encouraged to definitely have an order of protection in place, and know that you will do all that you can to protect yourself and report any of those, like I said, violations that may occur throughout the course of having the open and active order of protection on file. My name is Tierra Bernice, and if you're watching my videos, as far as the tips that I'm sharing, I find that it's very important that I share this information because as a survivor and mother of domestic violence, I found that a lot of the things I had to encounter, no one could give me the information. It was not out there, it wasn't available, and even being involved with support groups and affiliated with agencies that support survivors, there were things that even they didn't know of or experience. So that being said, I definitely know that I have some information as far as that I can share that many won't even consider or even think can happen, but it definitely can. And I just want to make sure you are aware, and not only if it can help yourself, if it can help someone you love, someone you know, because we all know someone that is fulfilling for me. So if you have any questions, feel free to DM me, feel free to follow me. I am on Instagram, Miss Tierra05, TikTok, and YouTube, Tierra Bernice. Thank you.